Hey, Professor.
Hey, Ethan, how are you, man?
I'm pretty awful.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you got the email from whoever on
I
Thursday.
did, I
Okay,
did.
great. It's getting better, but still
Okay.
pretty rough.
Pop, can you pull the door if you want to? I know you don't want to hear me. All right. No problem. Okay, we're starting in about a couple of minutes, and then we just go over a couple of chapters, and then we'll pick up again tomorrow, and then Thursday we'll wrap it up.
Good evening, Professor. How are you?
Hey, Sarah, how we doing?
Oh no, I'm assuming you heard me.
I'm sorry?
I can't hear you. Let's see.
Okay. Um, let's start with this review. And I'm going to do a couple of chapters. I don't want to bog everybody down because the less I do, the better it is in one shot. Okay. So we did chapter 4. Did we do 4? Hold on. Review.
Yeah, I think we just did 4.
We did 4, right?
I think so.
Okay. So let's do 5. Okay. Okay, can you guys see the screen?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, so this is, you're thinking about leasing a car. The purchase price of the car is $28,000. The residual is the amount you could pay off to keep the car at the end of the lease. Is $15,000. At the end of the 36 months, assume the first lease payment is due next month or 1 month after you get the car. The interest rate implicit in the lease is 5% compound monthly. What would be your lease payments for 36 months? First thing you have to do is to put $28,000 on a piece of paper and say 28 minus, right? That's the first thing you do. So that way you put the purchase price of the car and you put 28,000 and you put minus. Now, second thing you have to do is you have to get the present value of the residual. Now remember, what you're doing is when you're doing a lease, you only are borrowing or you only leasing the car for 3 years. So you're not buying the whole thing. Excuse me, you're not buying the whole car. So you're not buying the car outright, right? So what you're doing is it's like a rental, right? You're doing a rental. And the residual is saying, like, this is what's left and you can finance this, right? But we're not doing that. We want to find out how much our payment will be, subtracting the residual, the present value of the residual from the $28,000. So we're going to get the present value of the $15,000. So we're going to say N equals 36. IY equals 5 divided by 12, right? Because we converted this 3 years into months. So we have to do the same thing with the principal amount. I'm sorry, the interest amount, right? We have to do the same thing with the interest. So this and this has to correspond, right? So we're going to say 5 divided by 12, right? That's our IY. And then we're going to say 15,000 is the future value. We're going to put 50, and then we're going to compute for present value. Should be about 12,000 something. We subtract that from the 28,000. Right? Once we subtract that from the 28,000, now the answer we get is how we calculate our monthly payments. So 28,000 minus the residual amount, present value of the residual amount, and then we're going to calculate our monthly payments. So the way we calculate the monthly payments, we're going to say N equals 36, IY equals 5 divided by 12, right? We're going to compute for payment, so we leave payment alone. Future value is 0, and present value is the difference between the purchase price and the present value of the 15,000. Once we get that answer, we put that into our present value, and then we compute for payment. The answer we get is what our monthly lease is. Does anybody got an answer, or no one did it?
Sorry, I just wanted to go over how do you find the present value of the residual again?
We're going to say n equals 36. IY equals 5 divided by 12. Right? Payment is 0. Future value is 15,000. And then compute for present value. And then we subtract that, the answer we get, we subtract that from the 28,000, the purchase price of the car. Once we have the purchase, the subtraction between the purchase price and the present value, now we're going to say n equals 36, IY equals 5 divided by 12, right? We're computing for payment, right? We leave payment alone. Future value is 0, and the difference between the 28,000 and the 15,000 present value is what goes into the present value. And then we compute for payment.
Okay, I'm not sure this is the right answer.
Would that be?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Anybody.
452 with 12 cents.
452 and 12. Good,
Okay, yeah, I got that.
good. Keep those notes. Keep those notes, because this is, you're going to see this. And it first step, the 28,000 or the purchase price of the car, right? 28,000, whatever it is, minus, so you know. And then the residual amount, present value of the residual minus from the purchase price. Once you get that, then the rest, all you have to do is calculate the payment, the monthly payment. You solve for payment. Any questions here? Okay. This one, it says you decided to refinance your mortgage. You plan to borrow whatever is outstanding on your current mortgage, right? The current monthly payment is $2,356, and you made every payment on time. The original term of the mortgage was 30 years, and the mortgage is exactly 4 years and 8 months old. Right? You have just made your monthly payment. The mortgage rate is 6.375. How much do you owe on the mortgage today? So the original mortgage is for 30 years. So that equals 360 months, right? Yeah, right? 360 months, because 3 times 12, right? 30 times 12 is 360 months. Now you've paid exactly 4 years and 8 months. So 4 years is 48. 8 months is, make that 56. So you owe 304 months, right? This is what you've paid, 4 years and 8 months, right? Which is the equivalent of 58 months, right? 4 years is equal to 48 plus 8 is 56, minus 360 is 304, right? So now we're trying to calculate how much you owe. So we're going to say, and they gave us the amount. They gave us the amount, right? So N equals 304. IY equals 6.375 divided by 12. Okay. Payment, negative 2,356. Right? Or you can leave it 2,356. Okay. Future value is 0, and then compute for present value. How much did you get?
$354.90.
What did you say? 364?
354.
Uh-huh.
899.99.
Oh, 354. No, but this is to the nearest dollar. 354.
899.
Uh-huh. That's what you got? Good. Very good. Very good. So the original term is for 30 years. So you got to convert that into years, which is 360. I'm sorry, months, which is 360. And the mortgage is exactly 4 years and 8 months. So you already know 8 months, so you got to convert 4 years, which is 48. So 48 and 8 is 56. So we subtract 56 from 360, which is 304, and they gave us the mortgage amount, what you're paying. So we don't need to calculate that. Okay? So now all we have to do is see how much we owe. We have 304 months left. And then we calculate the mortgage today, which is the present value today. Right? N equals 304. IY equals 6.375 divided by 12, because the months have, the interest rate has to reflect the months, right? Payment, 2,356. It could be negative if you want, right? Future value is 0. We need to know today, right? And then we compute for present value. And the answer is 354,899. Now, when you put this in, let's say this was on the test, you see it says nearest dollar. So 354,899, do not put cents in it, right? Just put 0.00 if you're going to do that, right? And then also, when you separate, make sure you know where your commas are, because do not put a decimal point after 354. A lot of people were doing that. Okay? Okay, so here, this is a monthly compounding, right? 10 years. So 10 times 12 is 120, right? So we're going to say N equals 120, and we're going to have to convert this. We're going to say 4.70 divided by 12, right? And then it says, assume you graduate with a 28,000. If the interest rate for compounded monthly over, what's your monthly payment? So we're going to say 28,000 is the present value, right? Future value is 0, and then we compute for payment.
Is it 316 and 16 cents?
No.
I have 2,704.9.
2,000? No, that can't be. That can't be. It can't be 2,000. Anybody else? N equals 120.
292.89.
Good. But it can't be 2,000. No way. Right? Figure you have a loan for 120 months and you owe 28,000, 2,000, you then you be paying like thousands and thousands of dollars more. No. It's 292.89. Good. So again, N equals 120. You got to convert the years into months. Also the interest into monthly compounding interest. Right? And then after you're done with that, 28, you compare, you're computing for payment. So now you say 28,000 is your present value, what you owe right now, not future. But future value is 0. And then compute for payment. Okay? So this one, right, you've just taken out a car loan with a 5% compound monthly. The loan is for 5 years. When you make your first payment in 1 month, how much of the payment will go towards the principal and of the loan, and how much will go towards the interest? Okay, so first thing, let's calculate the monthly payments, right? So it's 5 years, right? So we know that's 60 months. N equals 60. 5 divided by 12 is your interest. And then your future value is 0. Your present value is 25,000, right? And then you compute for payment. What did you get?
$471.78.
Okay, 471.28. Now, what's 0.005 times 25,000? Nope, nope, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. What's 5 divided by 12? How much is that?
.41666.
And then put 2 zeros in front of that. 0.0041166 times 25,000.
$104.166667.
Okay, so 104.17. So we say 104.7. So subtract 104.17 from 471.28.
367.61.
367 point what?
61.
Uh-huh. That's not making sense. You said 471.28 was the answer,
Yeah.
and then you subtract 104. I don't know about that.
No, it's 471.78.
Oh, 78. Okay. All right. Good. Okay.
But can we go over how do we find the interest part of it again?
Yeah. Yeah. So the interest, right, is 5 divided by 12. Right? 5 divided by 12. But that's a percentage. So in order to convert that into a decimal, you have to add 2 zeros in front of it. So it becomes 0.004167. Right? 5 divided by 12 is equal to point, percentage will be like 0.411, but I want to convert that, but you put a percentage behind it. I want to convert that to a decimal. So I need to put 2 zeros in front of it.
2 zeros in front of the 4.
Right. So it becomes
0.004166667.
right, like that. Exactly. I'll show you in 1 second. Let me show you something. Let's see what we've done so far. We've done this, we've done that. Okay, let me show you how it looks. So you have a visual. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, this represents a percentage. This is when it's converted into a decimal. You get it? This was 7 divided by 12, but that's in a percentage. The percentage is 0.5833, right? That's the percentage. Now, in order for me to do the multiplication, I need to convert the percentage into a decimal. So I have to put 2 zeros in front of it because I have to move the decimal place 2 places, right? Because it's here. So I need 2 zeros in front of it, like they're doing right here, 0.00583. And that's how you get it. Make sense? All right, let me continue. Okay, so here it says you're considering 2 ways in financing a spring break vacation. You could put it on your credit card at 13% compound monthly or borrow the money from your parents. You want an interest, who wants an interest rate of 7% every 6 months? right? So first thing we're going to do, remember the formula? We're going to say 0.13 divided by 12 plus 1, the exponent of 12 minus 1. Right? 0.13 divided by 12 plus 1, the exponent of 12 minus 1. And what do you get?
1.125835926.
Did you
Oh, two
subtract?
decimals?
No, 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 no,
12 minus 1?
no, 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 no.
No?
Listen, listen. 0.13 divided by 12 plus 1. 0.13 divided by 12 plus 1. And after you get that answer, and you do the exponent of 12, like 12 power, the exponent of 12, right? Minus 1 after you get that. But I got to show you a visual.
So in the
Yeah.
calculator, we would put parentheses.
No.
No parentheses, just straight.
0.13,
0.13 divided by 12
right? Oh,
plus
they have to have
1.
13% there, plus 1, right? And then where it says XY, after you get the answer, you say 12XY minus 1.
Is it 0.14?
No, you have to, it's 0.13. So the interest is 13.80. If you look at the screen, that's the exact same interest that it happens to be the same interest.
0.138.
Right. Now, but you got to convert that to a percentage now. So you got to move the decimal place 2 places, which is 13.80. Right? And then
Yes.
the other part, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, now the other part, you're going to say 1 plus 0.08 squared minus 1. So it's going to look like this.
By the way, we can't see your screen. You're not sharing the one before or this one.
I've been doing that lately. Okay, I'm sorry. How's that?
Okay.
Perfect, right?
Professor, so we could just multiply by 100 to get the percentage.
Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Okay, let me continue. Okay, so in this one, you have an outstanding student loan with required of $600 per month for the next 4 years. If the interest rate on the loan is 9% compounded monthly, right? Now that you realize your best investment to repay the student loan, you decide to prepay as much as you can each month. Looking at your budget, you can afford an extra 150, right? So what is your required? Well, how long would it take you, right? So now you're solving for n. The first thing we got to do is get the amount, right? So we know that we have to get the the future value of this, right? So n equals 48 because it's 4 years, right? N equals 48. IY equals 9 divided by 12. Payment is $600, right? Payment is 600. And compute for future value. Present value is 0. What do you get?
34,512 and uh,
Wait a minute.
43.
Did I do this right? 34,000?
Yeah.
All right, try this. Try, instead of future value, try the present value.
Is it 24,100 and
That's more like it. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Wait, we were computing for future value, not
No,
present
wait.
value?
no,
Is
he
that what he
changed it
said?
to present now. So just put 0 for your future value, I think.
Thanks.
Let's see if I'm right. Let me just see something. Hold on 1 second. I believe that you need to take the present value here. We'll see. And then I'll correct it and I'll let you know. So now, what did you get for the present value? 24,000?
Yes, 24,110 and 87 cents.
Okay, so that was for the 600. All right, so now let's do this. Let's go in and we're going to say we're solving for n. We're solving for n. And we're going to say IY equals 9 divided by 12. Okay. Payment is negative 750. Future value is 0. And present value is that 24,000. and then compute for n.
It's 36.92.
36.92.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, okay. First part, I said future value. It's present value. My mistake. So let's start over. To get the first part, you're going to say n equals 48. IY equals 9 divided by 12. Payment is negative $600. Future value is 0. And then compute for present value. After you've done that, you're going to solve for n. You leave n alone, right? Number of periods, because that's what you're trying to solve for. And then you're going to say 9 divided by 12, which is your interest, right? Then you're going to say the payment, you're going to have an additional 150. So payment equals negative 750. Future value is 0. Present value is the amount that you got from your calculation of 600. And then you compute for n. And you come up with 3692. I wouldn't worry about this question. Okay. We did this one already. I wouldn't worry about this. I don't want to waste time. Okay, now let's do this one again. Okay. We did this. We did this. And so remember on this one, 0.17 divided by 12 plus 1, the exponent of 12 minus 1. The answer you get, you move the decimal place 2 places to convert it into a percentage. The second part, they're giving you the interest. So it's 1 plus 0.07 squared minus 1. And then you calculate which interest rate is higher. And then you say, you choose the lower one, the option with the lower effective annual rate. Is it your parents or your credit cards? It varies with this question. It's not always the same. This one, I guarantee you, is not always the same.
So, Professor, it's like this entire quiz gonna be on the exam?
Well, that's what I've been saying. There are no surprises. The thing that's going to get everybody is that you're going to see everything in one shot. Do you understand me, Ethan?
Yeah, it's no problem.
That's the thing. Same thing when we had the midterm. Did anybody see anything on that midterm that they have not seen before? No. No. The questions are going to be the numbers are going to be different, and that's what throws everybody off.
Are there homework questions also, or is it only quiz questions?
David, it's quiz questions. The homework are there to guide you. If you notice that when there are only sometimes that I'll throw in a quiz question, you make it a little challenging. But other than that, we resolve the issue. Okay? We did this. Okay, so this one is basically what this is telling you is that they gave you the amount. They gave you the amount of the loan. But what they did not give you is the interest amount that goes into interest, right? So this one, what you have to do is you're going to say 6 divided by 12. Okay, 6 divided by 12 is what?
0.50?
No, 0.05. Right?
I'm sorry, yes, 0.
0.05. Then you're going to say, you're going to convert that into a decimal. So how many zeros you're going to put in front of that?
2.
Right, so it's going to become what? 0.005. 3 zeros, 0.0005. And you're going to say 0.0005 times 3,762.36. And it should be $18.81. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, the reason why that happens when you're paying your car note, each time you pay your car note, more goes towards the principal, right? Than the interest. And it keeps lowering it, right? It keeps lowering the amount that you owe. So you still pay the same amount. You still pay the same amount on the car note, but more is going towards the principal than the interest. So this is your balance, right? So you have to calculate the balance, yet the interest on this balance. And the interest on this balance is this number times this number divided by 12, right? Converted into you got to convert this percent, 6 times divided by 12, right, is 0.05. And then to convert that into a decimal, we put 2 zeros in front of it. So it becomes 0.0005 times this amount, right? And then now it's giving you the amount. So all you do is subtract the 18.81 from 386.66, and you come out to 367.85. In the first month, now, the amount that goes towards principal and interest, the first month is 286 towards the interest and $100, right? Because if you do that, let's say the first month, if I say 0.005 times 20, I know that's going to be equal to 100. And then I know 286 is going to go towards the principal. Therefore, you can see that over time, as you pay down the principal of the loan, less of your payment has to cover interest and more of your payment can go towards reducing the principal. That's 100% in any loan that you have, student loan, car loan, any loan. That's how it works in the long run. All right, let's see where we are now. We did this. We did that. Okay. All right. Now, this right here, about 50 or 60% of people get this wrong. Okay? So listen up, and listen up. Okay? First thing you do is you put the amount that the house was sold for on a separate piece of paper, which is what the house was sold for. $1.1 million. So 1,100,000. You put that and you put negative. Okay? Follow my lead and we're going to do this. Okay? So now you brought the house for $800,000. That was the original deal. So we need to calculate the payment for 360 at 6.25 divided by 12 because it has to reflect the monthly, right? That was converted for the years that were converted into months. Then we need to calculate the payment. So we're going to say N equals 360, IY equals 6.25 divided by 12. We're computing for payment, so we leave that alone. Future value is 0. Future value is 0. Present value is 800,000. And then compute for payment. Right? Compute for payment. So how much is that payment?
4,000,
How much?
4,925.74? No, that gotta be wrong.
No, that could be right. Anybody else? I haven't heard from my crew. What
She
happened?
said 4925, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4,925.74.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, it's to
now,
the nearest dollar,
me.
so
Okay. Okay. All right. So 4925.74. So that's 4926. Okay. Or we can leave. Okay. Let's do that. All right. Now, listen to me. You lived in the house. You bought the house for 300 for 30 years. It was 360, but you lived there for 18 and a half years. So that's 222, right? 222 minus 360 is 138. So that's what we need to calculate. Remember now, you lived there for 222 months and your original loan was for 360, but you've paid 222. So you owe 138, right? So now what you're going to do, you're going to say this, N equals 138, IY equals 6.25 divided by 12. Payment is going to be negative 4,925.74. Right? That's what your payment's going to be. Right? And then you're going to say future value is 0 and then compute for present value.
Oh, I got 483,963 and 66.
483.
963.
Uh-huh.
0.66.
Okay. Now, subtract that from 1,100,000. Subtract what you just told me, the 483.
$616,036.
That's it. How was that? The beauty of this question that's good about this, the months don't change so far. I mean, but always look, because my lab does strange and funny things, right? So you've paid your original loan is for 360, right? And when you convert 18 and a half years into months, it becomes 222. The net between what you paid and what you got the house for leaves you a net number of 138. And that's what you need to calculate. That's what you need to calculate. And what it's saying to you is after you subtract what you owe, which is the 138 months, this is the amount that you put in your pocket. This is what this is saying. Any questions here? Everybody gets this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I want to do just a couple of the bonds because I want to save for tomorrow. Everybody that we went over chapter 5, if they need to see it, they can go online and see it. It's recorded. If you need to see this again, by anything that you don't understand in chapter 5, you can look at it on the recording on Blackboard. All right, so let me just look at something here. Let's do a couple, and then I don't want to keep everybody because we got to come back tomorrow again. All right, so look at, oh, I got to make sure you guys are looking at this. Sorry about that. So look at this, right? This is your company wants to raise $8 million by issuing a 25-year zero coupon bond. If the yield to maturity on the bonds will be 5% annual compounded APR, what's the total face value amount of the bond must you issue? Now, when you guys go work for a large firm, these are the kind of numbers that you will see. It could be 27 million, it could be 270 million, right? So here we need to find the future value because I'm going to be lending you $8 million today and you're going to be paying me back 25 years from now. Right? This is what this is saying. I'm lending you $8 million today, and you need to pay me back in 25 years, the amount, right? That the future value of 8 million, right? So we're going to say N equals 25, IY equals 5%, payment is 0, right? 0 coupon, meaning there are no other payments. We're buying it at a discount, which is this amount, and future value is going to be this. This is the face value, and this is what we're paying. So it's at a discount, right? Face is greater than price. So we're going to say N equals 25, IY equals 5, payment equals 0, present value is 8 million, and then compute for future value. That's how you get that 27,090, 839 spot 53. Okay, so it makes sense because what happens is somebody's going to have your money for 25 years. So, you need to know how much you're going to be getting back in 25 years. And this is what this is saying. Now, I've explained to you guys before that a bond like that changes hands over and over and over again because no one likes to be out that amount of money. And the way they calculate it is the same way you would do this. You would go back and say, I have it for 2 years and this amount. So now it's 23. I just have to find out the present value of this amount going back 23 years. So it's going to be a little bit more than this 8 million, and so on and so on and so on. Does everybody remember this? Anybody? See if I remember. Okay, so we're going to say N equals 5. IY equals 2.85. Payment is $60. Payment is $60. Future values 1,000. And then compute for present value. Is that the right amount?
Yes, this is it.
Okay. All right. So where will we stop right here? All right, where are you guys? All right. We did the chapter. We did a couple of the bonds. I'm gonna stop right here. I don't want to bombard. We'll see each other tomorrow night, and then Thursday, and then our test is on the 25th. And that's it. I hope I helped out as much as I can. This was just a little extra to help anybody out. I didn't want to bog everything, try to go really fast. So we got over chapter 5. So tomorrow we'll finish 6 and 7, and then on Thursday we'll do 9 and whatever other questions anyone has. All right?
Thank you, Professor. That was so helpful that you gave us this extra class.
Thank you. Listen, you guys, if you get a chance, can you give me, evaluate me?
Yes, I will.
Okay, everybody, please, if you get a chance. All right?
100%.
All right.
You got a 5-star rating, Professor.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you. All right. See you guys later, okay?
Amazing.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Professor. Good night.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.